Hi guys, Cramer here from the St George Queensland Reds. I see everyone's out there training on their own at the moment. So here's a few things that I do on my own when I come down to the park for a kicking session. So a few things that I do before I start kicking. It's really important to warm up, especially been sitting down all day. So I go for a little bit of a jog. I fire up my glutes, so do a few glute bridges, and I like to do some leg swings as well, just so it's not a huge shock to the body when you violently swing your leg at the ball for the first time. After I've done a little bit of a warm-up, I come over to the posts and I come from the side here. I personally kick very straight, so I like to make sure that I've got my eye in and try and see if and try and get my kick straight before I start. So yeah, I start close. I go about 5 meters away from the post. I always go toggle up. Thanks for that rugby bricks. That was a good trick. So I just line it up with the side of the post and hope that I don't get hit in the nose. Once I've warmed up at the posts and got my kicks relatively straight, then I come straight back to right in front, probably just past the 22, and have a few shoes from here, just to again, I guess, get a bit of a target. My sessions vary. It depends. Sometimes if I feel like a bit of a big dog, I'll go back and try and kick long range. Other days I'll stay closer around the 22 and either kick, practice from the sides. Usually I like to try and practice a lot from 15 in and on the 15 and the 22. For me, personally, I like to kick with a RBVortex high cut. So I just pop that down on the ground, the logo's facing me. With my ball setup, the little rubber toggle bit, for me, faces up. I know a lot of people get nerdy about that, and some people don't even notice it, but for me, it faces up. I then set the ball up, the seam going over the black dot. For me, if I'm kicking a shorter ball, I'll probably have the ball facing up a little bit. And then if I'm going for a little bit more length, I'll probably lie it down a little bit more just so I can hit, just so I can hit the belly of the ball a little bit easier. So once I've got it set up, I just draw a little bit of a line with my eyes over the black dot or wherever I'm aiming for. If it's windy, it might be a bit different. So once the ball's got set up, I then stand up and get rid of the dirt off my knees because that's yucky. And then draw another line, so knee over the ball, and I make sure that I'm nice and square. Take 3 steps back. I think that was 3. Sorry, I was thinking about something else. 3 steps back. And then out to the side where I get comfy. I like my feet to feel nice in my boots, so I like wiggle around a little bit and make sure that my feet are nice. I then get comfortable stance. It doesn't look probably comfortable, but it's comfortable for me. I look at the ball, my target, ball, my target. I focus in on the ball, is where I stay. Take a nice deep breath. I do this weird thing with my leg where I do that. And then, you kick a goal. So when I'm out a little bit further near the sideline, nothing changes for me. It's been really helpful to think about. Well, for me, I find it really helpful to kick through the ball and really use my momentum. So I aim for something off into the distance behind my target, and aim at really try and aim for my target being through the posts, not just dropping at the goal. So yeah, the same setup, aiming for right in the middle. A helpful hint that RBVortex has taught me is with the toggle. So putting it in the middle. I used to always kick with it to the left, but kind of got explained to me that there's a bunch of structural stuff that happens on the inside of the ball here. And I guess if you're kicking with something to the left and there's more weight on this side of the ball because there's more extra rubber here, then I guess it'll kind of pull away, and the ball flight will change due to inertia and science. So before I played rugby, I was a soccer player. So my ball strike and my plant foot's all pretty good, but something I've had to work on is finding a consistent setup. I found my setup just by standing where I felt comfortable, but to make sure that this is the same spot every time, I guess that's why people have a bit of a step out thing that they do. So for me, I just go 3 back and then out to the side. Make sure that that's consistent every time, because sometimes in games, if you've got heaps of adrenaline, you might take real big steps and end up too far away. So for me, I guess once I do my fancy little leg thing that I have no idea why I do that, but that's just what we do. So once I'm here, you need to make sure that your rodeo arm is up nice and high, because your body can be a bit like an elastic band. So if you pull a rubber band tight, it's got a lot of energy through it. But if it's sagged, it's not really going to fling anywhere. So you got to have your arm up nice and high, a lot of energy through here, so that when you do strike the ball, there's like heaps of power through there. And I'm really trying to chop down on my arm. My momentum is something else that is another thing that I've had to work on. So I make sure that my momentum goes straight through the ball. So after I've struck the ball, I like to try and keep my momentum going this way. I know some people slice off it or fall off it. Everyone's different, but for me, because I kick the ball straight, I really have had to focus on getting my rodeo arm up nice and tight and this shape nice, and then coming through the ball and my momentum following the ball. If you battle to get down to a footy field and actually kick at posts, one of my sessions that I actually do is into a net. If you don't have a net, I come down here and use these cricket nets, but if you can't get to a net, I put a sheet up on the clothesline or a tarp up in the backyard, and just kick a ball into the net. So you don't have to worry about the outcome. It's just all about the process and getting reps in with your feet. Something that I actually do on game day as well, or you can do in your backyard if you've got a soccer ball or any other kind of ball, is just to do some juggling. Again, with my soccer background, that's something that I always do. I do it on game day as well, just to, I guess, get a few touches in and get coordinated. Yeah. So that's a few things that I do in my sessions. Anything's better than nothing, so I hope everyone's making the most of this time that we have to work on ourselves and look after each other.